everybody. I just thought I would get on and talk about where I've been. So, I had committed to doing like a 6 week series in October, and it's March. And unfortunately, I realized that 5 months have passed away, and it's kind of fitting that the third little Faith in series is about transparency. So the last 5 months have been a really big challenge for me. I have really just struggled personally in lots of different ways, emotionally, physically. I've struggled um, on lots of different levels. It's no excuse not to keep my commitments, but sometimes we let things get in the way of our calling and we let them almost feel like they almost defeat us. And I've just haven't been having kind of like my own little pity party about some things. And so God has really been using this last few months to like refine me. I feel like I've been walking through the fire a lot. I have been on emotional roller coasters a lot. My life has taken swings to and fro, and I'm not playing a victim. I am fully understanding that it's a mountain, and it's a mountain that God allows so that I can be a better person in the end. So every challenge that I've faced, everything that I've gone through has really just been about what does Amy need to get to her next level and to get beyond it, because I tend to have a pattern of following the same mountains over and over and over again. And what happens is I wasn't conquering any. I was feeling defeated. Anytime I hit the mountaintop, I'd get a little bit defeated, and then I'd instantly be back in the valley. And I would try to climb up the mountain and I'd be almost there, and then I'm back into the valley. And I don't want to do that cycle anymore. I'm over it. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's a done deal. So this third part, we did faith and truth and faith and trust. And this third part, sorry, I just got done running like 4 miles. So I'm like a little sweaty. My hair has like cat hair, but I'm not really caring because I just feel like today's the day to really be transparent. It's kind of an emotional day for me today. I just am, I want God so much in my life, and I put calls to him like, God, come on, like, aren't you gonna come through, and he's trying to teach me patience, and it's a rough challenge. So that's where part of my transparency today. But we did faith and truth, faith and trust, and today's faith and transparency. And when I say the word transparent, like, what's the first thing that you think of? Like, how does that word transparent make you feel? I recently have met someone that has more transparency than I ever could have imagined. And it was challenging, it was frustrating, and it was also enlightening and encouraging because they were so vulnerable so much. They threw everything out there, and it was like, come as you are, and they were bold. And it was amazing to see like how God gave them like that ability to almost just be able to be like completely true. Like, have you ever really met someone who's completely genuine, completely sincere, no ulterior motives, no backhanded, no manipulation, nothing, just completely pure? Like, there's very few people out there who tend to live that way, and it was really refreshing to have had the opportunity to meet someone who was like that, because what that did is it challenged me. It challenged my focus of like what my call is and what my purpose is. So I just wrote down some quick short thoughts about transparency. And for some of us, when we hear the word transparent, we might cringe. For others of us, we might say, like, bring it on. My life's an open book. I can tell you that this is an area where you have to trust the Lord 100%. Over my years, I used to be one of those people who was so transparent, I basically vomited at the mouth. If you met me within 5 minutes, you would know my life story. I did not have any self-control. It's actually like a form of insecurity, because I just felt like you needed to know everything about me before you ever decided if you wanted to be my friend or not. I felt like if you knew my whole past, like you could immediately decide, because if you found out later what I have done or where I've been or what's gone on in my life, you might decide that you don't want to be a part of my life. And I was so insecure, and I didn't understand my call and my purpose and my place with the Lord, that I just vomited transparency out of my mouth. And it wasn't right always. Sometimes my transparency was correct. Sometimes it was a God moment of transparency, but I didn't always listen to his voice when I would share those things. Becoming transparent is really about you and God. It's about you and the Lord. It is about who do you first need to be transparent before? We need to be transparent before the Lord, because here's what we know about him. He already knows. He already knows. He already knows all our deep, dark secrets. He already knows what happens when the lights go off. He already knows what shows we sit and binge watch on Netflix. He already knows how many times we gossip on the phone about the girl across the street who seems to have multiple cars at her house all the time, and you don't know what's going on. He already knows about all those things. Everything that you can imagine. He knows about your work gossip. He knows about how you treat your kids, how you treat your spouse, how you treat those that you say you love. He knows those things. He knows your passions and your dreams and your hopes. He knows every failure, every flaw. So what he's desiring from us is that we understand that we bring our transparency to him, because when we do that, that's an opportunity for him to say, okay, you've opened the door, you've accepted it, you've realized like, hey, this is what you do. I can tell you that my transparency with the Lord lately has been emotional eating. Lord, here's what he told me. As a single woman, I don't date, and I date my food. So on a Friday night, my granddaughter might come over, or she might not, and I just get my favorite takeout, and I sit and I watch TV, because it's me and my food. And then after that meal, I might say, 30 minutes later, let me have some popcorn. Or 30 minutes later, I need some ice cream. Or 30 minutes later, like, what do I have? Oh, we have like mini chocolate donuts. Or, I forgot I bought Lucky Charms cereal. I'm going to eat a bowl. And I don't just stop at one. I go to 2 or 3. And it's because I'm feeling that void of loneliness in my life. And I don't like that. That is not who I am. That's not who God wants me to be. To be transparent means to remove the pride and allow the Lord to replace it with purity. Because when I'm transparent before him and I say, Lord, these are all my flaws, what I'm doing is I'm allowing him, I'm inviting him to say, Lord, I don't want to be an emotional eater. I don't want to be all up in my feelings 24 hours a day where I don't feel like it's the one thing I can control, right? It's someone who never lets me down, someone who makes me feel good. I personified that food. And so what that has allowed me to do is open up my eyes and say, okay, I don't want to be like this. So what do I do instead? I say, Lord, use this opportunity, purify me. It reveals to the Lord that we acknowledge our need for him, because I cannot conquer this battle on my own. It started when I was young. It started probably my earliest memories of being comforted by food were probably junior high. Probably junior high, when all my friends were doing stuff, like I just sat and watched TV and ate, literally ate for hours. Transparency, it leaves no room for the enemy to pull out old skeletons, because they have been laid at the foot of the cross, buried when he gave his life. When we are transparent about our flaws and our failures to those around us, or we share our testimony, or Holy Spirit invites us to share that with someone, what we're able to do is we put a block on the enemy. You know what? I don't care if you bring up that I've been divorced. I don't care if you bring up anything about my past, because I've already put it out there. The Lord already knows it. Those who matter already know it, because I have made it into something that I'm willing to speak about. I'm willing to encourage. I'm willing to try to help people who've experienced the same things that I've went through. A transparent heart also gives control to the Lord to do the necessary work that brings wholeness and healing. When you're transparent before Him, He can reveal all the circumstances that hold us back. And He can also bring revelation to our old wounds, bitterness, or unforgiveness that we may have buried in our lives. When we completely get vulnerable and transparent before the Lord, He can show us how He can take all those things that hurt us, all those things that have bound us up, and He can use them for His glory, just like His word says. What we are to do is to become like David and say, "Search my heart, O God, and make me more like you." That should be our heart's cry. Instead, most of us, we like to say, "Give me what my heart wants." And we close down any corrections that He might want to complete in us. And so that could look like jumping from relationship to relationship. I found myself in that throughout my years in my life, never giving myself time to heal, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," and then, oh, an opportunity comes and I just jump at it. Or it could look like I'm going to get buckled down on my finances, and I'm speaking about all the things that I need to do. Like, I'm not gonna retail therapy shops anymore. I'm gonna just search after you, Lord, instead of saying, like, "Lord, help me. I want Him to be able to correct me." During this time, we need to become fully awakened and aware that God already knows all things. We need to trust Him to prepare us for our next step or our transition. And we need to know that in order to do this, it requires transparency 100% so that we can fulfill the purpose that He has for us. So today, if you find yourself struggling with position in your life where the Lord has maybe not been speaking to you as much, I would challenge you to search your heart and just ask the Lord, like, are you being completely transparent with Him? Are you talking to Him about every desire? Like I told the Lord, Lord, there's things that I want in my life, but you're going to be those things to me. I want you to be those things to me before you allow anything else into my life. And He knows. I tell Him about, transparency moment. I've always been a tither, and I've always tithed like off my gross income. And I found myself in a financial situation, and I decided, Lord, I'm gonna just tithe off of what I net, right? And I've never not done that. And I've struggled financially just different times because I do a lot of retail therapy. I filled a void. And so this is something I've had to be very vulnerable before the Lord about. I've filled a void because, like, if I'm alone, I just go shop because it makes me feel good. I'm not so alone if I'm out and about amongst people, right? So I asked the Lord, like, why do I find myself back into a position that I had got out of, and that things had changed, and my heart had I thought my heart had changed about it. And He said, you robbed from me. You changed your heart. You quit trusting me. And what happened was I quit trusting Him, and I decided, well, I'm only going to pay tithe off my net. I'm not going to pay tithe off my gross. And now I know that can be a huge debate, right? But for me, it's an act of faith. For me, tithing is an act of faith, and I'm trusting the Lord. If I give Him my first fruits, that He will provide all my needs. And He does. I have food in my refrigerator. I have a roof over my head. I can take care of my son. I have a great job. I have great friends, great family. I can still go out to eat with my friends. I can still buy some nice things for my kids. So it's not like a poverty mentality. Excuse me. It's not like a poverty mentality that happened. It's more like things kind of like quickly went downhill. Like where I was climbing up the mountain, all of a sudden it's like it's muddy and I just started sliding back down. And I, unfortunately, like this happened over like the last 5 months. I just let my emotions get the best of me. And it was this horrible, vicious cycle that quickly spiraled out of my control. And so here I find myself 100% transparent before the Lord, saying, Lord, I will give you what you require of me, what I feel like the Lord has told me to do. And that's tithe off my gross income. Even though they take out retirement, even though they take out taxes, even though they take out my health insurance and it feels like I get no paycheck left, I'm tithing off what I actually earn by the hour, 80 or 88 hours a pay, whichever week it is. And I know that the Lord will be faithful to me, and I know that he will provide all the things that I need. So my encouragement to you today is be transparent before the Lord. Seek his face, ask him what areas that you need help in. Like he's helping me with my emotional eating. He's helping me in my times of loneliness. He's helping me when I feel like I kind of lost my joy. Like he's bringing it back. Why? Because I've been transparent before him, and he reminds me that he is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. The Lord has done so many amazing things in my life. I can't even tell you all the miracles that have happened in the last 5 months, even though I was in the middle of like a pity party. But I'm telling you, like, God is so good. And I encourage you today, after you watch this video, take just a few minutes, ask the Lord to search it, ask the Lord your heart, ask the Lord to search your heart to see what it is that maybe needs to be brought to the surface so that you can handle it and deal with it and move on. Because after all, don't we want to be the best we can be for those around us and be kingdom minded and be the best for the kingdom that we can be? So I hope you all have a blessed day. I need to get ready for my class at 5:30. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and I will see you soon for the next video that we will be doing. Have a great day. Bye-bye.